Management at the Castle of Good Hope in Cape Town have welcomed this morning's eviction of between 40 and 60 people that have erected shacks on the boundary of the castle in the CBD. Of course, many of these illegal occupiers have been here since 2020. If you'll remember, that's when shacks started mushrooming across Cape Town CBD as well as outlying areas. Of course, following a successful application by the Department of Public Works, this eviction order was enacted this morning by the Sheriff of the Court. I'm joined now by the CEO of the Castle Control Board, Mr. Calvin Gilfillan. Calvin, a very warm good day to you. Of course, behind us we see that teams from the city and so on are still busy with cleaning up operations. I think earlier you have spoken to us about the informal settlement, if one can call it that sprung up here, which has had quite a nasty impact on the Castle of Good Hope itself.
Yeah, no, my position was very clear that the relocation of the informal settlement next to the castle should be done legally and should be done humanely. And when I arrived here an hour or so ago, that was certainly the case. There were 2 fires, but it was doused very quickly. And I think what we wished for from the management side has happened. Now it's of course the tedious process of cleaning up, of sanitizing the land, because there's been a lot of damage both in the water, in the moat and on the land. And behind us we can see that is happening. My team is, you probably saw them on the boats, pushing the rubble to the site, and the city with their red trucks, scooping up the rubble to rehabilitate the site.
We also know that over the past few years there have been complaints by citizens of Cape Town. Besides it being an eyesore, of course we know that there have been various muggings, various petty crimes taking place here, and that would have had an impact on visitors, especially tourists, local and international, to this precinct. I mean, the Castle of Good Hope is, I think, the oldest colonial building in South Africa, and the impact over the past few years, Calvin, of course also speaking now ahead of the upcoming tourist season.
And you would also remember that I separated the 2 issues. That the poor and the homeless was one issue because they were obviously prone to drug dealing, but the real petty crime is happening on the side of the parade and the station. And that problem will not go away now that the homeless people were relocated. But yes, the criminality, the petty criminality around the castle's entrance is deterring visitors to come here, and the aesthetics of having shacks and having dirt in their face is certainly not boding well for me, coming from the tourism sector and knowing that you only have one moment to make an impact, and if you lose that, it's gone. So we are very worried about what the people say in Tokyo or in Gaborone or in London say after they visit the castle, because this is on the must-visit list of every visitors to this country.
And then, Calvin, just very briefly, of course, so the site behind us is being cleared now. I do understand that this is under the Department of Public Works. What are the measures going forward? I mean, it's quite still an open space. Are there plans afoot for the area just on that side of the moat to be cordoned off, fenced up, to prevent something similar in the future?
3 steps. The first one is now the cleaning. Second step is to deploy law enforcement there to avoid relocation of the people, and then the third step is to first encamp the site, because there's no way that the plans that we have of landscaping, of planting fruit trees, vegetables, making it beautiful for you, me, for the rest of the people, and for the homeless if they come back, not as settlers, but as enjoying this part of the world. You will remember when I was in tourism, I was always concerned about this eastern precinct, and maybe this is the one step that for us as a collective take control of this part of it and deal with the drug dealing, deal with the petty crime, deal with that. Because my real worry, this has now been resolved, but the crime on the parade and outside the castle's gate is still a big concern for me.
Calvin, thank you so much, of course, for your time this morning. Calvin Gilfillan there, the CEO of the Castle Control Board, just reacting to this morning's eviction of people who had been illegally occupying the space just behind me here on the perimeter of the Castle of Good Hope.